In this lesson I have a real treat for you as we go over SK label nodes and SK emitter nodes. The first thing we need to do is just clear out this code that we're no longer using. Let's start off creating a label node with var myLabel and make it equal to SK label node and with font name Futura Medium. Now just remember, if you need help with the fonts, you can go to the website I showed you in the previous video to figure out the font names. myLabel.position. We'll put this down the bottom corner of the screen for now, so CG 0.00. We talked about alignment modes in the previous video, so because we're doing it in the bottom left corner, let's say for the vertical alignment mode we'll put bottom, and in the horizontal alignment mode we'll put left. Okay, so we're going to want to assign some text to our label, so let's just call it Hello Swift. We can assign a font color, so we'll make it an SK color of red. We'll set the font size to 32, and just a reminder, you can also set the font name again, but we already did that when we initialized the variable. Now that you have everything set up how you want, you can add it to the scene. So build and run, and this is what you will get. Okay, let's make a few changes. First, we'll double the size of the font. We'll change the color to blue. And we'll make the position the center of the screen. We can do this by taking the size of the screen, by referencing self, which will be the scene, its size property, and then its width or its height property. Then if we divide that by 2, we'll have the center of the screen. Now if you build and run, you'll find that your text is still off center. This is because of our vertical and horizontal alignment modes. So if you now come back and set both of those to center, build and run the application again, and there you go, your blue text is in the middle of the screen. Let's now just change the font color to white, and we'll leave it at that. Now let's have a look at emitter nodes. You can create a new emitter node and type out all of its properties in text, but that would take an awful long time, and there's a lot easier and more precise way to do that by using a SpriteKit particle file. So if I come over here, right click on the folder and go new file, come under resources, and you'll find SpriteKit particle file. Just make sure that you did not pick the SceneKit particle file, they are quite different. There are some default options available here for your particle template. Let's go with fireflies. Okay, so here you have your screen full of fireflies. You'll see over on the right hand side that we have all these properties that can be changed. I'm just going to let you experiment with these and see what you come up with. I'll do the same, and let's see what we come up with. Okay, so I've now made an effect I'm happy with. I can save that file, come back into our game scene, and start creating our emitter. So let emitter equal to SK emitter node. And straight away we're going to give it the file we just created, so myparticle.sks. In this particular case we don't need to include the file extension. We can just go myparticle. Now a lot of its properties have already been set, but we can still set its position. So I'm going to set its position in the center of the screen, the same as my label text. I'm going to give it a -Z position so that it will appear behind the text. Now you can add the emitter to your scene as a child node and go build and run. And there you have it, your fancy particle effect behind the text. You'll notice as well that your node count is quite high. That's because each of these individual particles is a node. Using a SK emitter node is just a resource-friendly, effective, and quick way to generate particle effects with your node. Please feel free to continue experimenting with your particle effects and move on to the next video when you are pleased.